Welcome to the GMBN Tech Show. This week we have the latest from Hardline, some new bikes from Banshee, shoes from Fizik, and the winner of our Bike Cave Park Tool giveaway. First up, we were at Red Bull Hardline at the weekend, and it was a really cool event. Not only in terms of the tech, there was lots of dark magic going on to get people's bike set up just the way they want it, but it really did redefine and almost make me embarrassed of what I consider gnarly. Going to my local trails will never be the same again because the cameras don't do it justice. The hucks to flat were extraordinary, to the point where pretty much all the riders were wearing ankle braces, not in case they crashed, but just for the hucks. It was so gnarly. It was absolutely cool. We've got some really cool features coming out of it over the next couple of weeks, which I'm really excited to show you. So you'll have to hold tight for those ones there. We've got a little montage prepared for you. And yeah, let me know what you think. I'm really excited. Welcome to Red Bull Hardline. Righto. Oh, that'll do it. Good effort. This is G. Atherton's, Brendan Faircross, Laurie Greenland's, Bernard Kerr's Pivot Phoenix 29X. Brand sauce, yeah, red sauce.
Yeah. Got any ketchup, mate?
Delicious.
Oh, look at this.
I feel like Bear Grylls. Oh no, sorry, no, Ray Mears, sorry. Bear Grylls can do one.
So first up in kind of the fresh releases from this week, earlier on in the year, maybe a month ago or so, we saw that City, which are an absolute giant of the road cycling game, were really ramping up their gravity offerings. And now it seems like another Italian brand, Fizik, are doing the same. So they're coming out with 3 new shoes: the Artica, which no surprise is kind of a winter specialist shoe, the Climber, and the Ergo Lace. Now, I don't think they're probably quite as aggressive as the City shoes we saw, but they actually look pretty good. An interesting divergence from a company that started out with saddle bars and cockpit stuff on the road side, then came over to mountain biking, and they also do really high-end road shoes. And no, they absolutely look really clean, look really tidy, maybe a bit more kind of cross-country-esque than for my kind of riding, but I think they look really cool, and it'll be interesting to see if they expand this range over the future. They even have the Ergo laces, the off-center laces, like the old Nike Total 90 football boots. I don't know if anyone's into them, but yeah, no, they look pretty cool. And I just think it's great to see another big brand stepping into the mountain biking area. Hopefully we're going to see some cool bits from them, maybe even a flat pedal shoe or something could be cool. Who knows? That's probably me getting a bit overexcited though. But no, look really good. Let us know what you think in the comments. This week we also have the release of some new bikes from Banshee. So Banshee are kind of a pretty cool brand really. I've always had a soft spot for them. So the new bike is the Titan, which is the 29er long travel enduro bike, and also an updated Rune. The Rune was the 650B or 27.5 kind of mid-travel enduro bike. Now there's some couple really cool things about this. First of all, for both of them, the geometry charts are absolutely fantastic, which I know is a really nerdy thing to observe, but they go into everything. One thing I really like is this long conversation we're having about seat tube angles, but because they're not on exactly a vertical plane, obviously the higher you have your saddle, the slacker it will make your seat tube. So they list that on the geometry chart. Why doesn't everyone do this? Why haven't we done it before? I don't know, but it's absolutely brilliant. It seems to be very pragmatic. It's all out there. It's easy to find. And no, I think it's just absolutely fantastic. I also like they kind of do their bikes in different colours, more than model years, if you see what I mean, which I think is really refreshing. Santa Cruz do something similar, and I think to the consumer that's spending their hard-earned cash on the bike, it helps them kind of keep resale a little bit better. And no, nice and clean. In terms of tech, they have got some cool stuff. The chainstays are internally ribbed, which means basically it's kind of like almost like a separate box section in the middle to keep them, very stiff. Some really nice metal work. But one of the cool things is in terms of wheel size. So they have modular dropouts that can change between boost and 142. I mean, they kind of call it as they see it on their website, and they just say, if you've got a nice set of wheels, why would you want to throw it away? Which I really agree with. Secondly, the Rune, so the 27.5 one, is 26-inch compatible, I don't know if that's a mullet bike, guys, or not, but it will certainly keep the internet quiet, or at least I hope. But no, seems really cool, really progressive band that seem to be putting their own stamp on things, and I quite like that raw metal. There's one of the Titan in raw alloy, and it does look absolutely fantastic. Now, as some of you probably remember, we currently are running the Bike Cave giveaway from Parktool, an incredible, really comprehensive setup to transform anybody's living room or indeed shed into a pretty sterling bike cave. It's certainly an incredible prize. We had loads of entries, so thank you for everyone for getting in. And the winner is, drum roll please editor, I'm not even going to humiliate myself by trying to do it on the desk. The winner is Noah Sieber. So congratulations, a fantastic prize. We shall be getting in touch to arrange how we can get it to you. Fantastic, I'd certainly be really excited. Now it is time for the Bike Cave segment. So this is where we check out where you work on your bikes, where you store your bikes, where you lock them up. Now, if you're watching this thinking, I've got a pretty good bike cave, get it in. We have the uploader below. Don't be shy, and yeah, it's always cool to have them on and a real fun community part of the show. So please do get them in. This week is from Daniel in Hawaii, lucky devil, and he says he loves all the GMBN shows, especially tech. Nice work, it's good way to get yourself featured, that. And big mahalo for all the advice and experience you guys share so willingly with your viewers. And basically he just says how the area he lives in is more famous from the surf, but there is actually, straight through his backyard, a connecting trail. This is his bike shack, just off the side of my house. While it's nothing special, it's a great place to find some solitude, focus on maintaining my bike. I've expanded my tool arsenal to include just about everything I need to fully service and maintain my ride. But there are still a few items on the wish list. Well, it certainly looks pretty good. I think if I recall a couple of years ago, there was maybe like a Da Vinci advert or something with Stevie Smith in Hawaii, and the riding did look absolutely fantastic, I have to say. But the bike cave itself, well, it's certainly very light. I'm already a big fan. White walls, yet again, big fan. A nice Santa Cruz pride in place. We've got some torque wrenches, everything, a whole plethora of inner tubes just to kind of keep you out of trouble. And it looks like you do quite a lot of servicing work. You know, you see all the kind of suspension lubes up in that top left there. No, it looks really, really good. Oh, there we go. Nice. There's the shadow board. That is pretty comprehensive. A lot of kind of almost shop specific toolage there. We've got the derailleur hanger. We've got nice park tool saw, the hammer, all the cone spanners, and a nice steering guide there. That is really, really, really nice, actually, I've got to say. I think I can also see a socket set creeping in the corner. And a pretty solid chewing stand as well. So looks really, really self-proficient. Like I said, this is almost set up like a shop. We've got the big kind of multi-pack bundles of inner cables and outer cables there, which is pretty cool. No, solid. Oh, and there we go. We've even got here a iPad. I didn't see that, with our Lord and Saviour Andrew Dodd up on the top. That's pretty cool. A nice little place, maybe if you're doing how-tos and stuff like that, to guide you through the process. And no, that's fantastic, actually. I really like that. It's a good idea. It's a really good idea. And I suppose if you're not having YouTube on, you can just play some music, that sort of thing. Looks great. Yeah, nice one, bud. Smashing. So if you're at home watching that, thinking that you've got a bike cave to rival Daniel's, then by all means get it in. Now this one is actually incredibly well stocked, and it doesn't have to be quite as flash as this, although obviously no harm if it is. But yeah, upload a link below, send us what you got, and hopefully we can feature it on the show. Now it is time for Top Mods. Now this is where we feature the work you do on your bikes, the little things you've changed, maybe a massive overhaul, maybe something a bit more artistic like this week's submission. So it is from James in Sheffield, and he's got a Santa Cruz Nomad alloy, and he says Nomads are pretty common around here, so I'm always looking for ways to put my own stamp and make it really unique. After fitting a rock guard, I realised I didn't really like the look of the carbon weave. I remembered having a dashboard of my car hydro dipped and decided I want to have a go at doing it myself on my rock guard. I decided to do that on my bash guard in a print that matched the custom decals. I really like the end result, and I hope you guys like it too. So let's have a look at the pictures itself and see what's going on. Well, it's certainly purple. Good on you. Nice. Well, lots of colour match purple. Yet the custom decals do actually look pretty cool, to be fair. Now, hydro dipping, as far as I'm aware, although I'm not the most artistic person, is essentially when you float either paint or a whole wrap over a surface of water. Now that holds it in terms of tension, and you basically wrap it as dip the whole component in. It is super cool. You see sometimes some really good how-tos on the internet. We've been talking about giving it a go at some point, but I certainly couldn't do it justice. I am the least artistic person in the world. So probably leave it to the Dodster. But I think it does look really cool, and you've actually done a really, really good job of that rock guard. I saw John Cannings over on GMBN Tech was hydro dipping some stuff, although, and I don't think he'll mind us saying this, it probably wasn't quite a refined or a well-polished as job as yourself. So no, you've done really well here, and it actually looks really, really good. You're certainly a fan of the purple. When I first saw it on the wide shot, I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit like, all right, okay, cool. But actually getting closer, yeah, I'm a fan, I really like it. Very different, and like you said, a great way to customize and kind of put a bit your own flair and personality into the bike. So thank you for getting it in. As always, guys, please don't be shy. Get your top mods in the uploaded link below, and hopefully we can feature on the show. Like I said, it can be an artistic endeavor. Maybe it's a new set of wheels, or just changing some of the easier to access parts on your bike. Get them in, and hopefully we can feature it. Now, in this week's Tech of the Week, it's actually something a little bit different. Not one product or item, but actually two. Now, I want to talk about custom rocker links. I saw this week RAAW, who make the bike called the Madonna, kind of a really aggressive, actually really well thought out trail bike, bringing out a custom link just to suit heavier riders. For basically, they realised that the demands of a heavier rider aren't going to be the same in terms of the kinematics of the and shock leverage ratios as a lighter rider. So why not make it so? I think that's really, really cool. It's great to see a bike manufacturer not only just thinking about it, but trying to cater to more of the types of people that are going to buy their bike. And that makes a lot of sense. I always view with suspicion when you see, one size fits all. Don't get me wrong, that's in chainstay length, that's in sometimes shock tunes. The extra small and the extra large both have a medium compression tune. I find that quite peculiar, to be honest with you. But no, it looks really, really cool. So also in similar vein, I've seen that Cascade components are enhancing and increasing the size of their range to soon include the Mega Tower, but right now they've just released for the Nomad. Now what this is a custom link to change the shock characteristics. It also bumps up the travel, and it also increases the chainstay length. Now basically what it really, really kind of is doing is at the leverage curve, it's changing what it's doing at the very end part of the stroke. And I think it's really, really cool. I saw a company called Bike Yoke who now actually make really, really good dropper seat posts. It originally did this for specialized enduros, and suddenly they're a whole company, so there's obviously a bit of money in it. But looks really cool. I think having more options and that kind of fine tuning shouldn't just be the preserve racers, but if we can get it in the kind of open marketplace, then that's definitely good news as far as I'm concerned. And I don't know, I'd love to try this sort of stuff and have a bike. I know it might not be something you change ride to ride, but certainly if you're going out to the Alps for a week or what have you, or maybe riding some bike park, it kind of makes sense to me that perhaps you don't want to have the same, the same exact characteristics. Maybe you want to kind of make it a bit burlier. Yeah, bring in the goods. Get on them, I reckon. So that's it from the Tech Show for this week. Thank you very, very much for watching. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you fancy it, give that notification bell a cheeky little hit there. Now, what was really cool last week, which I'm going to throw you to first of all, is a first look at that nuke-proof reactor, which is the new trail bike. So click down there for that one. It's got some really cool riding footage in there as well. And for the second one I'm going to recommend, we have the security feature part 2. And Doddy gets up to no good as he tries to steal his own bike. So click down there for that one. As always, thanks for watching. See you later, guys.